Microsoft 365 in practice. Hi, Darius.
Hey! So, I've been wondering, we looked at Find Time in episode 11, and that's a great way to book meetings, but what about if you're trying to book an appointment for a business service?
Yes, nice intro there, Darius. We're going to look at Microsoft Bookings today. For example, let's say you run a counseling service. How do your clients book an appointment with you?
I don't know, like they could use phone, email, smoke signals, Telegram, Horse
Right.
Runner.
You missed homing pigeon, but anyway, Bookings creates a little web interface where your customers peruse your availability, enter their desired booking time, and book a time with you. The booking, of course, is connected to your Microsoft 365 Outlook calendar. So Bookings knows when you're available and can add a new appointment for you. Of course, I mentioned a counseling service, but this same scenario applies to a lot of different businesses like consultant, massage therapist, chiropractor.
Tutor, university professor, bookie, barber, tattoo artist.
Okay, yeah. Speaking strictly for yourself, I'm sure. So let's get at some demos here.
Uh, Jerry, you really want me to read this next line?
Yeah, it's in the script, Darius.
Yeah, book him, Dan O.
So let's see what the initial Bookings sign-in looks like. Here we are in Microsoft 365, and we're going to sign up for the Bookings app. So I'll go to All Apps and look for Bookings. And now, get it now. So this is to search for existing calendars. I'll add a new booking calendar. Set up my business and continue. So note you'll be able to add more details later about your business staff and services. Let's just wait a moment here. All right, so that took about 12 seconds. First, we'll go to the Microsoft 365 homepage, office.com. And of course, you would have this bookmarked alongside your favorite SharePoint sites and planner plans. So we'll take a look at the initial screen. And first of all, notice the web address is at outlook.office.com/booking/homepage.
And of course, this is a secure site.
Yes, but isn't every site now? But it is true. 365 has used the HTTPS protocol since the beginning. So now let's take a look at setting up our booking page. Okay, Darius?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so we're going to set up a logo and some colors, and we're going to enter in some services we offer, that sort of thing. So let's get into it here. So we'll be looking at a lot of these. But over here, of course, we can add a logo. Let's do that right now. So we'll upload a new logo. And let's see, I think I'm going to use just the light bulb rather than the full logo this time, just because it's got a better square shape. Let's put a white background and save. Said these are shortcuts. And of course, we send activity because we're just setting up, but pretty soon it's going to start getting used. So I want to start at the bottom here, actually. So the business information, let's put the address of the business in. Notice it knows where I am. I'm currently in Halifax, even though I live in Ladysmith. So interesting, it knows that I'm in Halifax, but I'm just going to put my address in here. All right. Choose your currency of choice, and the logo is already uploaded. Now, the business hours, so this is self-explanatory. Not going to spend any time on that. Actually, let's do one change. Let's say we sleep in on Monday, so we don't start until 10:30 a.m. So let's save our changes. So next, services. What do we offer? So look at these are rows, like a list, and I can add a service up top here. You know what, Darius? We're going to really do this. First 5 people will get an hour of free consultation with me, with Jerry. So notice assign staff. So if I don't assign it, any of the staff can take it, but I'm going to say this is with Jerry specifically, and I could do multiples. Okay, location. I want to say online. Look, it's got a link to Zoom. That's interesting. I'll say Teams. And say that it's an online meeting. And this generates a Teams invite automatically, apparently. So the default duration of this service we're setting up is 1 hour. Great. Yeah. Buffer time. So this is in case you have travel time between meetings or you need some setup or cleanup time. Let's say after 15 minutes, in case I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, let customer manage their appointment when it's booked to you on their behalf. Okay, so that you can book someone in, like phone in, you can put the booking in the calendar, which is kind of a neat, simple, obvious feature. So if you set this, even though your staff have booked the customer in, the customer can still manage it and change times and such. Okay. Oh, we can do attendee number. I didn't notice that before. Okay, well, let's say you can have 2 of your people on the call then. Why not? This is free. So we've got pricing built in, which is interesting. And notes for internal only. Yeah, no charge, whatever. So custom fields, I'll let you look at that on your own. Here's a reminder, so you can edit the reminder messages. So here the publishing is whether or not this service will show up on your booking page. We'll see that in a moment. And here the online scheduling options. It'll use all the default settings unless I uncheck this, and then everything becomes editable. So maybe this particular service has a longer or shorter duration, or that's an increment of time. And maybe it has more or less lead time because of setup, or you have to get ingredients or whatever. So you can configure it quite extensively there. And you can get an email notification when a booking is created, and you can send a meeting invitation to the customer so they can book it in their calendar. And here it would be if it's always the same person delivering it. So usually you would leave that as the default. And then there's an availability link here. Check that out. It's fairly straightforward. I'm going to click and save this. So now we have 2 services in there. So under the staff section, it's automatically pulled in all of the staff in my Lightlever tenant. So it's got that automatically, and each of these are editable. So different colors, settings, availability, all that. It's customizable by staff member. Let's make me orange. And of course, you can add staff up here if they don't have a Microsoft 365 account. Let's look at customers. So this is kind of cool. Nothing here yet, but look, I can click new and I can create a very simple customer database. And you can import customers. So if you have a CSV file, just check this link out to read more about that. Don't need to reproduce what's already there. And now let's look at the booking page. So this is quite interesting. So not published, we haven't built one yet. So do we need them to have a 365 or Office 365 account for my organization to book? So this would mean you would be like an internal system. You would use just the Office 365. So this is an interesting setting. By selecting this, it means that your bookings page won't be indexed by Google or Bing, the search engines. So unselect this if you want your site to be searchable. So yeah, if people want to search for like Microsoft 365 consulting and find this page, sure. So this is if you want to have a message warning people about how you're using their information. I'm going to skip over it. Here's our scheduling policy. So what increments do we want the times booked to be in? Let's leave that at 15. And the lead time for bookings and cancellations is 24 hours by default. So that means that people can't book your time less than 24 hours in advance, right? So let's say I want a bit more lead time, 30 hours. The maximum lead time, this is how far in the future they can book your time. So a year hence, I'm going to say, don't make me plan more than a month, 30-30. And then here, the business is us. So we'll get an email when it's a booking's created or changed. And let's also include the customer in that invitation. Let's next look at a walkthrough of the app itself using the app.
Okay.
So what this will be, Darius, is sort of what it looks like for somebody to book an appointment now that we've set up our booking page. So we'll see what it looks like for the end user. This is what service. So we set up those two services. We'll go for the 1 hour consult. It knows my calendar because it's showing the times that I'm available. So let's say 3 p.m. Now, who am I? So I'll fill this all in. There we go. So let's say I'm making a booking. That took a bit longer than it should. We'll test it again in a moment, but confirmatory email on its way. Okay. So here's the email that I've got saying that I've got a booking. Fairly straightforward stuff. Join your appointment with Microsoft Teams. So yes, it put a link for Teams in here, which is great. I can view it in bookings here. Now let's see if it's done anything to my calendar. And then look at this. The 15th, there it is. Boom. Let's open it up. So there's the email and the calendar invitation with a link to Teams. Isn't that brilliant? So easy. So that's cool. So we saw the page there. Now notice this, I can share my page on Facebook, Twitter, or email. That looks pretty easy. I'll play with that later. Oh yeah, I didn't like the color of the header here. I want something that matches my logo a bit better. So that's a bit purpley. There we go. That dark blue is good. And you can put custom colors in here. Actually, let me do that because I do have my logo colors. Okay, I've got my logo colors in there. And the logo, yes. Let's keep the default time zone settings. And save and publish. We've got some embed text here as well. So if you want to embed it on a website, good to go. I think I'm going to do that, actually. I'll come back here and copy this and send it to my web designer. Yes, sirree. Okay. Already saved and published, yes. Let's open the published page again, just see what it looks like with those colors. Yeah, I should have grabbed the transparent logo, but that's fine. All right, and then you have the calendar here. And it actually knows my calendar. It just says busy where things are happening in my calendar. And let's see. Here we can create a new booking. So somebody calls in or emails me, I guess. Might let them book that way. Nah. We can actually book it into the calendar and send them an email confirmation by default. And then last but not least, downloading the app so you can manage it mobilely. So I think that's enough about bookings. So that's a lot about setting up the booking app. There's quite a bit to it there. Hey, Darius?
Yeah, I think it just goes to show that you can make a 15 video series on Microsoft 365 and still be surprised by the amount of value you get.
It's true. It's true. And I hadn't used the bookings app before preparing for this video. So I've got really excited, and I'm planning to talk to all my friends that run the type of business that could use this app and get them going on it. So now that we have seen the setup of the app, we see what it looks like for the end user, let's have a quick look at how we can manage our bookings through the app.
What exactly do you mean by managing your bookings in the app itself?
Okay, yeah, so I'm talking about rescheduling, canceling, that sort of thing. It's all done straight through the bookings screens.
Let's see.
So after I've booked it, it brings me to this page as the booker. So I'm pretending I'm Morley Mason. So there's the event and time and date. It's on Teams for the location. And now I can reschedule or cancel the booking. So very, very useful. Update. It's not going to work for me that day, so I need to go on the 20th instead. Update booking. So easy. So that's bookings. What do you think, Darius?
I think that after this, I'll be all booked up.
Hey, I'm Jerry Brimacombe, and this has been another episode of Microsoft 365 in Practice. Please let me know if you have any questions, and your comments and subscriptions are welcome. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.